हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
How are you, प्रभु जी?
फाइन प्रभु जी।
Fine. So
Yes.
shall we start our conversation from today?
Yes प्रभु जी।
Do you have Bhagavad Gita book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, by
Yes
Srila?
प्रभु जी, I got from Padmaja Mataji as a gift.
Oh, you got it from Padmaja Mataji as a gift. So you have the book, right?
Yes प्रभु जी।
Very nice. So let us start. At least, today we will about, do the session for about 30 minutes. Okay. And these 30 minutes, what we are going to discuss today is how to learn Bhagavad Gita. Okay.
Okay प्रभु जी।
Bhagavad Gita, as you know, how one should take the Bhagavad Gita?
No प्रभु जी।
You know or you don't know?
I don't know प्रभु जी।
Can you first repeat after me? Namaste Narasimhaya
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय
Praladaladaine
प्रहलादनाथायिने
Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha
हिरण्यकाशे पूर्वक्षः
Shrilatanka Nakalaye
तीर्थङ्कनकालाय
Ito Narsimha Parato Narsimha
यतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह
Yato Yato Yamitato Narsimha
यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह
Bahir Narsimha Udaye Narsimha
न बहिर्नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे
Tavakara Kamalavare Naka Madhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanabhranga Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare.
तव कर कमल वरे नगा अद्भुत शृंग दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तन भृंगा केशवद्रुत नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे
Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव
Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज
Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada
जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद
Shri 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 Narsingadev Bhagwan ki
जय
Prahlad Maharaj ki
जय
Srila Prabhupada ki
जय
Namo Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Pravijakacharya Sto Uttara Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada ki
जय
नमो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य उत्तर श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय
श्रील गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की
जय
श्रील भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की
जय
प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
जय
नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय
श्री वृंदावन धाम के
जय
मथुरा धाम के
जय
पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम के
जय
मायापुर नवदीप धाम की
जय
गंगा माई की
जय
यमुना माई की
जय
भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की
जय
गिरी गोवर्धन की
जय
राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की
जय
सामवेद भक्त वृंद की
जय
all glories to assemble.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assemble.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assemble.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की
जय
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
तो जयामुदीरये
ततो जयामुदीरये
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवतीं रुद्रं श्लोके
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भगवतीं रुद्रं श्लोके
भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके
भवती
उत्तमश्लोके
उत्तम श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भवती प्रभुजी राइट
भक्तिर्भवती भक्तिर्भवती
भक्तिर्भवति
नैष्टिकी
नैष्टिके
हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
So today let us discuss from Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada.
Yes प्रभु.
I used to have a English version of Bhagavad Gita. Let me just open that.
Yes प्रभु से I open.
No, I have a English version of Bhagavad Gita as it is.
प्रभु से पेज नंबर.
Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to download the original version of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Original book of Srila Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Very nice. Got it.
प्रभु से
Yes.
can you send the link?
You want me to send you the link?
Yes प्रभु से.
KrishnaPath.org. All the Prabhupada original books are there. KrishnaPath.org.
Krishna. In Google, Prabhuji?
You need to, it's a website, Krishna Path, KRISHNAPATH is a one word, .org.
Once, Prabhuji.
So that has those books, original books of Srila Prabhupada without adulteration. Okay. You can download all of them actually. So now, let us read Srila Prabhupada's books from the beginning. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Prabhupada. So, when you look at the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada mentions, any book, if you are a serious student of spirituality, you should read Bhagavad Gita from the beginning. Should not jump around to one chapter, to other chapter, or chapter, then 10th chapter, then 18th chapter, then 16th chapter. You should not do it like that.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So that has to be read very systematically. What we do is just read forward. Want to read?
Prabhuji, can I try?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
The Bhagavad Gita is the best known and the most frequently translated of Vedic religion text. Why it should be an applying the Western mind and interesting questions. It has drama for its setting is a sense of too great.
Now what you do?
Great
Today,
armies Bangalore.
Prabhuji, Haribo. Today, you watch while I read it, and you need to learn to read that way. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Forward. The Bhagavad Gita is the best known and the most frequently translated of Vedic religious text. Why it should be so appealing to the Western mind is an interesting question. It has drama, for its setting is a scene of two great armies, banners flying, drawn up opposite one another on the field, poised for battle. It has ambiguity, the fact that Arjuna and his charioteer Krishna are carrying on their dialogue between the two armies suggests that indecision of Arjuna about the basic question: should he enter battle against and kill those who are friends and kinsmen? It has mystery, as Krishna demonstrates to Arjuna his cosmic form. It has a it has a properly complicated view of the ways of the religious life and treats of the paths of knowledge, works, discipline, and faith and their interrelationships, problems that have bothered adherents of other religions in other times and places. The devotion spoken of is a deliberate means of religious satisfaction, not a mere outpouring of poetic emotion. Next to Bhagavata Purana, long work from South India, the Gita is a text most frequently quoted in the philosophical writings of the Gaudiya Vaishnava school. The school represented by Swamy Bhaktivedanta as the latest in a long succession of teachers. And we said that the school of Vaishnavism was founded or revived by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bengal. Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486 and he departed in 1533. And that is currently the strongest single religious force in the eastern part of the Indian subcontinent. The Gaudiya Vaishnava school, for whom Krishna is himself the supreme God and not merely an incarnation of the another deity, sees Bhakti as an immediate and powerful religious force consisting of love between man and God. This discipline consists of devoting all one's actions to the deity. One listens to the stories of Krishna from the sacred text. One chants Krishna's name, washes, bathes, undresses the Murti of Krishna, feeds him, takes the remains, the food offered to him. Thus, absorbing his grace, one does these things, and many more, until one has been changed. The devotee has become transformed into one close to Krishna and sees the Lord face to face. Swamy Bhaktivedanta comments upon the Gita from the point of view, and that is legitimate. More than that, in this translation, the Western reader has the unique opportunity of seeing how a Krishna devotee interprets his own text. It is a Vedic exegetical tradition, justly famous in action. This book is then welcome addition from many points of view. It can serve as a valuable textbook for the college student. It allows us to listen to a skilled interpreter explicating a text which has profound religious meaning. It gives us insights into the original and highly convincing ideas of the Gaudiya Vaishnava school. In providing the Sanskrit, both Devanagari transliteration, it offers a Sanskrit specialist the opportunity to reinterpret or debate particular Sanskrit meanings. Although I think there will be a little disagreement about the quality of the Swami's Sanskrit scholarship. And finally, for the non specialist, there is a readable English and a devotional attitude which cannot help but move the sensitive reader. And there are the paintings, which, incredibly as it may seem to those familiar with the contemporary Indian religious art, were done by American devotees. The scholar, the student of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and the increasing number of Western readers interested in classical Vedic thought have been done a service by Swami Bhaktivedanta by bringing us a new and living interpretation of a text already known to many. He has increased our understanding manifold, and arguments for understanding in these days of the estrangement need not be made. This is actually a foreword which is written by a Professor Edward C. Demock, Department of South Asian Languages and Civilization, University of Chicago. He read the Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita and he has written a foreword for the book. Do you know what is a foreword means?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
What is a foreword?
Prabhuji, I didn't get it in Google.
You didn't get the book in the Google?
Yes, Prabhuji. Can you keep link?
I will send you the link. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
So the preface is written by actually Prabhupada himself. Originally, I wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is in the form in which it is presented now. When this book was first published, the original manuscript was unfortunately cut short to less than 400 pages, without illustrations and without explanations for most of the original verses of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In all of my other books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Ishopanishad, etc., the system is that I give the original verse, its English transliteration, word for word, Sanskrit English equivalents, translations, and purports. This makes the book very authentic and scholarly and makes the meaning self evident. I was not very happy, therefore, when I had to minimize my original manuscript. But later on, when the demand for Bhagavad Gita as it is considerably increased, I was requested by many scholars and devotees to present the book in its original form, and Messrs. Macmillan and Co. agreed to publish the complete edition. Thus, the present attempt is to offer the original manuscript of this great book of knowledge with full parampara explanation in order to establish the Krishna consciousness movement more soundly and progressively. The Krishna conscious movement is genuine, historically authorized, natural, and transcendental due to its being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. It is gradually becoming the most popular movement in the entire world, especially amongst the younger generations. It is becoming more and more interesting to the older generations also. Older gentlemen are becoming interested, so much so that the fathers and grandfathers of my disciples are encouraging us by becoming life members of our great society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In Los Angeles, many fathers and mothers used to come to see me to express their feelings of gratitude for my leading the Krishna conscious movement throughout the entire world. Some of them said that it is greatly fortunate for the Americans that I have started the Krishna consciousness movement in America. But actually, the original father of this movement is Lord Krishna himself. Since it was started a very long time ago, but is coming down to human society by disciplic succession. If I have any credit in this connection, it does not belong to me personally, but it is due to the eternal spiritual master, due to my eternal spiritual master, divine is Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya, Ashtotarashat Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. If personally I have any credit this matter, it is only that I have tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is without adulteration. Before my presentation of Bhagavad Gita as it is, almost all English editions of Bhagavad Gita were introduced to fulfill someone's personal ambition. But our attempt in presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is to present the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Our business is to present the will of Krishna, not that of any mundane speculator like the politician, philosopher, or scientist, but they have very little knowledge of Krishna despite all their other knowledge. When Krishna says, Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru, etc., we, like the so-called scholars, do not say that Krishna and his inner spirit are different. Krishna is absolute, and there is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's quality, Krishna's pastimes, etc. This absolute position of Krishna is difficult to understand for any person who is not a devotee of Krishna in the parampara, disciplic succession system. Generally, the so-called scholars, politicians, philosophers, and swamis, without perfect knowledge of Krishna, try to banish or kill Krishna when writing commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Such unauthorized commentary upon Bhagavad Gita is known as Mayavadi Bhashya. And Lord Chaitanya has warned us about these unauthorized men. Lord Chaitanya clearly says that anyone who tries to understand Bhagavad Gita from the Mayavadi point of view will commit a great blunder. The result of such a blunder will be that the misguided student of Bhagavad Gita will certainly be bewildered on the path of spiritual guidance and will not be able to go back home, back to Godhead. The only purpose is to present this Bhagavad Gita as it is in order to guide the conditioned student to the same purpose for which Krishna descended to this planet once in a day, descends to this planet once in a day of Brahma, or every 860 crore of years. 860 crore years. This purpose is stated in Bhagavad Gita, and we have to accept it as it is. Otherwise, there is no point in trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita and its speaker, Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna first spoke Bhagavad Gita to the sun god some hundreds of millions of years ago. We had to accept this fact and thus understand the historical significance of Bhagavad Gita without misinterpretation on the authority of Krishna. To interpret Bhagavad Gita without any reference to the will of Krishna is the greatest offense. In order to save oneself from this offense, one has to understand the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as he was directly understood by Arjuna, Lord Krishna's first disciple. Such understanding of Bhagavad Gita is really profitable and authorized for the welfare of human society in fulfilling the mission of life. The Krishna consciousness movement is essential in human society for its offers the highest perfection of life. How this is so is explained fully in the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, mundane wranglers have taken advantage of Bhagavad Gita to push forward their demonic propensities and mislead people regarding right understanding of the simple principles of life. Everyone should know how God or Krishna is great, and everyone should know the factual position of the living entities. Everyone should know that a living entity is certainly a servant, and unless one serves Krishna, one has to serve illusion in different varieties of three modes of material nature. Thus, perpetually one has to wander within the cycle of birth and death. Even the so-called liberated Mayavadi speculators has to undergo this process. This knowledge constitutes a great science, and each and every living being has to hear it for his own interest. So, I wanted to stop it here and discuss on these points.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So, what did you understand? Did you hear it carefully? Pranad Prabhu?
Prabhuji, which means uh, if, uh, if Bhagavad Gita is it's the order of guide constructed students of same purpose only, Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm.
And planet once in a day, the Brahma or every Prabhuji, I
See,
don't
okay,
remember.
all right. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitamscha Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamy Nitinamini Namaste Saraswata Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Prachyatyadeshadharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are trying to read Bhagavad Gita as it is from the beginning. We have started it today. If you read the preface of the Bhagavad Gita, whatever the couple of pages we read, Prabhupada is trying to establish the supremacy of Krishna. When Prabhupada started to translate Bhagavad Gita as it is, before that, there were 700 different varieties of people, different versions of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Bhagavad Gita was available in English. But none of them are, actually representing what Krishna wanted to communicate to the people in general. Or does it have the real purpose of Krishna fulfilled? Rather, the people who are politicians, scientists, philosophers, they use Bhagavad Gita to propagate their own ideology under the name of Bhagavad Gita. One should not do that. If anybody tried to propagate their own ideology under the name of Bhagavad Gita, because the Bhagavad Gita is so popular, I can propagate my ideology under the name of Bhagavad Gita, then that person is committing a great offense. One should not do that. It's quite material in nature. So Bhagavad Gita has to be learned from an authorized spiritual master who is coming in disciplic succession. That succession has to have a connection with Krishna himself. Because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna. And Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. Before Arjuna, he spoke to Vivaswan, sun god also. So Bhagavad Gita is actually a manual to human beings to lead the life, how to lead the life. Explains everybody how to lead the life in the material world. When you got a human form of life, how you are supposed to engage yourself. That is Bhagavad Gita. It's a manual to lead a life in a human form of life. That's why Bhagavad Gita has to read the very beginning of human life. Kaumara acharayet. Kaumara means in between age 5 and 10. Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be learned during that period. Learning of Bhagavad Gita should start at the age of 5. Because if it is a manual that explaining how to lead life in the material world, suppose if somebody reads the Bhagavad Gita at the end of their age, let's say 60 years, 70 years, 80 years of time, what is the value of reading Bhagavad Gita? Because Bhagavad Gita is explaining how to utilize human form of life. If you spend all your human form of life leading according to your will, without understanding and purpose of human form of life, and now you read Bhagavad Gita at the end, what are you going to do? That's why it is mentioned, Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be learned at the early age. And whatever is spoken in Bhagavad Gita has to be adopted into our own life in order to achieve the perfect success of human form of life. That's why Bhagavad Gita has to be presented as presented by Krishna himself. If somebody is trying to present it according to their own whims and will, then it will lose its purpose. Srila Prabhupada is very humble. He says that, many people actually ask Prabhupada to translate. Initially, when Prabhupada translated Bhagavad Gita as it is, this is the book which you are reading right now. But when it is published, publishers decided, okay, it's become too big, so let us cut short on the Prabhupada's translation. And they cut short on Prabhupada's purports, also cut short on various illustrations Prabhupada has presented. But with a limited exposition that the Bhagavad Gita as it is got to the readers across the globe, they requested Prabhupada to publish with details what was missing. When those requests are abundant in nature, then Prabhupada decided that let it be published incomplete. And he approached a Mrs. Macmillan Company and they agreed to publish Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Srila Prabhupada published this book which you are reading. It's the original work of Srila Prabhupada. The way Srila Prabhupada presents it is, everybody can actually appreciate it. If you are a Sanskrit Pandit, you still have an opportunity to understand Sanskrit as you learn it. And also what it means here, that is also explained by Srila Prabhupada, word to word meaning. First, Prabhupada writes the original verse as it is in English transliteration. The verse is Sanskrit, but he writes it in English. And then he gives a word to word meaning, Sanskrit English equivalent. Then translation, and then purport. That makes this book very authentic, very authorized. The reason being that word to word meaning, every word, what is the meaning of each word that it is mentioned in the shloka. A serious reader can understand that, what is the meaning of the shloka by reading the word to word meaning. And there is a translation given, and consequently Srila Prabhupada gives a purport. Purports are actually the explanation of the translation given by Krishna himself. And these translations are taken from the various Vedic scriptures and authoritative sources like previous acharyas and Puranas. All Vedic scriptures are quoted, which is supporting the context and conversation, their particular words. So the Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, or any book of Prabhupada is very authentic in nature. So the Prabhupada, on request from many people, present the Bhagavad Gita as it is, full version, Prabhupada decided to present it. Krishna consciousness movement, which is established by Srila Prabhupada, is a genuine and historically authorized process. The transcendental you do, it's being based on Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any interpretations. Now, Krishna consciousness movement is so popular across the globe that, everybody, across the globe, everybody knows what is Bhagavad Gita as it is and Krishna consciousness movement. It become so popular because it's based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. It has gradually become the most popular movement in the entire world. Especially young generation has attracted to this message because it's very profound, authentic. It's not only for younger generations, it's also becoming interesting for older generations also. Srila Prabhupada explains his own experiences. His disciples' parents used to approach Prabhupada and appreciate Prabhupada for his contribution. He is quoting, a mother in Los Angeles, father-in-laws and mother and fathers living in Los Angeles. Many times, Srila Prabhupada express their feelings of gratitude for leading the Krishna conscious movement throughout the world. But Prabhupada doesn't take any credit for his works. He is very humble and he says that, I don't have any credit. Probably it's right so because Srila Prabhupada is presenting the message as it is. His credit is, he says, it doesn't belong to him. That's what he says. But it is due to his eternal spiritual master. He gives the credit to his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. This is how one need to propagate the message. Always in a spiritual world, when you are surrendering to Krishna and disciplic succession, we will get the mercy from them. By their mercy, we will be able to speak what Krishna has spoken. So Srila Prabhupada is humbly presents. He says that, this credit is not belongs to me, but it belongs to my spiritual master. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. Prabhupada also very humbly presents that, if any credit he has to take, it's only that he tried to present Bhagavad Gita as it is without adulteration. He presented it as it is. It's a very important. One has to learn Bhagavad Gita. It has to be learned from the authorized, authentic sources only. Bhagavad Gita as it is, written by Srila Prabhupada, just to present the mission of Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Will of Krishna has to be presented in Bhagavad Gita because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Krishna. It belongs to Krishna. It doesn't belong to anybody in the world. People, because Bhagavad Gita is so popular, people wanted to propagate their own ideology under the name of Bhagavad Gita. That's why politicians, philosophers, scientists, they have no knowledge of Krishna. They may have the knowledge in other fields of sciences, but they don't know anything about Krishna. Krishna himself says that, Manmana bhavat bhakto madhye jimam namaskuru. Unless one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one cannot understand what Krishna is. That's why these scholars, philosophers, politicians, when they comment on Bhagavad Gita, they don't recognize Krishna as Krishna, but they say Krishna and his inner self. That means they compare Krishna to be us, one among us. His inner spirit is different from him. That's what they interpret. But reality is Krishna is absolute. There is no difference between Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's quality, Krishna's pastimes and all. This absolute nature of Krishna is very, very difficult to understand. For this to be understood, one has to take up to the devotional service to Krishna. That devotional service has to be performed under the guidance of disciplic succession. these politicians or philosophers and scholars or the Swamis, without knowing what is Krishna, they don't have perfect knowledge of Krishna, but try to explain Bhagavad Gita. The process, the banish Krishna, the kill Krishna in the process of writing Bhagavad Gita and propagate their own ideology. This unauthorized study of Bhagavad Gita really doesn't help any much. In fact, to understand Bhagavad Gita from Mayavadi point of view is like committing a spiritual suicide. The result of such a blunder is the misguided student of the Bhagavad Gita will certainly be bewildered on the path of spiritual realization because it is not actually the original words of Krishna, but the people who is misinterpreting the Bhagavad Gita is actually propagating their own ideology. It will not lead us to solve our basic fundamental problems or will not lead us to go back to Godhead. Or it will not lead us to engage in devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada says that he presented Bhagavad Gita as it is, so that the original intention of Krishna be propagated accordingly as it is. Whoever is, serious student of Bhagavad Gita, that person, if he gets a real knowledge as it is propagated by Krishna, presented by Krishna, that person becomes very fortunate. And actually that person becomes dearer to Krishna at once because Krishna descends onto this planet every once in a day of Brahma. One Brahma's day is actually 1000 Chaturyugas. One Chaturyuga's solar time is 43 lakhs 20,000 years. One Chaturyuga. That means Kali Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga and Krita Yuga, Satya Yuga. All these 4 yugas put together. Kali Yuga's time period is, we know, 4,32,000 years. Prior to that is Dwapara Yuga, that is 8,64,000 years. Prior to that is Treta Yuga, that is 12,96,000 years. And Satya Yuga, 12,96,000 plus 4,32,000. How much it becomes? 12 lakh.
Prabhuji, once can you?
Huh? What is that?
Prabhuji, can you tell once again?
Kali Yuga's time span is 4,32,000 years. Dwapara Yuga time span is 8,64,000 years. Treta Yuga's time span is 12,96,000 years. If you notice it, Kali Yuga multiplied by 2 is Dwapara, multiplied by 3 is Treta Yuga, multiplied by 4 is Satya Yuga. How much it becomes?
Prabhuji, 1 lakh. Sorry.
17,28,000 years, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
128 and 16. 17,28,000 years is Satya Yuga. When you add up all these 4 numbers, 12 plus 12, 24 plus 12, 39. And that is a portions of it is remain. So total becomes actually 43,20,000 years.
43 lakhs.
Yeah, 43,20,000 years is a one Chaturyuga.
Chaturyuga.
One Chaturyuga is all these 4 put together is one Chaturyuga. Brahma's one day equals to 1,000 times of this Chaturyugas. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Brahma's 1 day, that means 12 hours only, is day. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So that is roughly about 432 crores of years is Brahma's 12 hours. A Brahma has a 12 hours period where he falls asleep. That is also 432 crores. That means put together 864 crores is actually precise number of Brahma's 1 day, day and night, 24 hours. So Krishna appears once in Brahma's day. So this is, given in the Vedic scriptures. That's why in order to understand all this information, one has to take this knowledge from an authorized source, authentic source, who is coming in disciplic succession. That's what, so far what you learned today, presented by Srila Prabhupada, is also mentioning how the Krishna conscious movement becomes essential for every human under the sky. So we'll read, consequent paragraphs from tomorrow. This itself is going to take at least, like 10 days to 15 days, Prabhuji, depending on how much time we spend. Okay, even it go to 15 to 20 days, because Prabhupada explains his introduction very elaborately. After this preface, there's an introduction of about 49 pages or 47 pages, something like that. Very elaborately explains. Reading introduction very systematically helps us understand Bhagavad Gita as it is thoroughly well, because Prabhupada establishes in order to understand Bhagavad Gita, one has to be devotee. If he is not a devotee, at least, even if he inquisitively wanted to know what Bhagavad Gita says, he has to accept the supremacy of Krishna, and Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Then only person can understand Bhagavad Gita. So it's very essential that one has to learn Bhagavad Gita from authorized spiritual master. This has to be through the guidance of authorized spiritual master, who is a bona fide representative of Krishna. This is how one should learn Bhagavad Gita, and for whom it is essentially required. When do one start reading Bhagavad Gita? At the age of 60, at the age of 5, at the age of 50, or at the age of 5? And how Bhagavad Gita is important, and how it is important to only take the authorized, authenticated and authorized Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken by Krishna himself. In authorized scripture, Krishna's original intention is presented as it is. That's exactly what Prabhupada has done with Bhagavad Gita as it is. So I'll read about it further, Prabhuji. Any questions or comments, Prahlad Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji.
You understood what we discussed today?
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, the Brahma has a very small life, a small time to means die.
Small time? Do you think Brahma's 1 day, we have just spoken 860 crores of years? Is it a small time for us?
No, it is a long time for us only.
Correct. So Brahma's lifespan is very, 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 very long compared to us, right?
Means this 4 yugas complete means the Brahma will die and again the 4 yugas will start means the Brahma will born on he will there only Prabhuji.
No. In Brahma's 1 day, there's a 1,000 Mahayugas. So imagine if 1 day of Brahma has 1,000 Mahayugas, how many Mahayugas Brahma sees? This is exercise for you. Tell me tomorrow. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You understand? If 1 day of Brahma has 1,000 kalpas, right? 1,000
Yes,
Mahayugas, how many Mahayugas they appear. How many Mahayugas Brahma's lifetime has? Will you come up with the answer tomorrow?
Okay, Prabhuji.
So shall we stop it here, Prabhu? Any other questions?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Harinama Sankirtan ki jai.
Jai.
Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrindi ki jai.
Jai.
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhuji, I have a
Jai.
question for you. Do you want it to continue at the same time, or will you be able to? What time do you come back from school?
Prabhuji, I come back to school from 6 o'clock.
You come back at 6 o'clock. Exactly our Telugu class starts, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So only option you have is 6 to 7 and 7:30 to 8:30. Okay.
Prabhuji, otherwise we will keep 7:30 to 8 only.
Yeah, that is also fine. That is, I'm also thinking, what time do you wake up?
Means when the night will late means I wake up at 6 o'clock.
Mhm.
Otherwise 5:35.
Hmm. I'm just wondering, morning actually, your 4:45 onwards, we have a session starts. So your evening means my early morning. I thought, I will get up early morning, and the early morning of mine, I will use the time for your class, but that becomes early evening for you, but you are not available until 6 o'clock. All right, let us continue at this time and see how it turns out. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Pranad Prabhu. Dandat Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Pranam.